Hello, and welcome to Cardinal Film Fights. I am your host, Justin Branson, and
Mark.
I'm not Mark.
Where is Mark?
And
Where's Mark?
Mark,
He was right there.
well, Mark will be greatly missed.
Fell asleep.
He's not dead. He's just somewhere else, and we're not really
He didn't feel
sure.
so good anymore.
He doesn't feel
Mr.
so
Justin.
good.
It looks
Anyway,
like a little bit of dust
moving on. Welcome to Cardinal Film Fights, the show where we fight about films. Okay, now I'm going to introduce these lovely, not so lovely people. If you could just give name, major, year, and a fun fact. And if you don't have any fun facts, just look at the camera.
Okay. Where we starting?
Just blankly stare at it.
Start with you.
Okay. My name's Peyton Tavernier. I'm a sophomore video production major, and I think Thanos did nothing wrong.
I'm Evan Lacey. I'm computer science major, history minor, and I'm going to talk about how communism didn't go far enough.
My name is Max Van Dongen. I'm a TCOM major, poli-sci screenwriting minor, and Infinity War is my favorite film. Not really a fun fact, but it's fun to me.
That's what matters.
Now I'll look into the camera.
He's
Just
pretty
stare at
good
the camera.
I
And
feel
I-
threatening
and-
already.
And I'm Justin Branson, and fun facts don't exist about me.
Are they redacted?
Wow.
Yes, classified. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the best Netflix original movie and why it certainly is not Bird Box. So, if everyone would like to introduce their topics, could we get 1 minute on the clock for each of you? Let's start in the middle, move our way out, and bounce back, because we're fun here.
Oh, gosh.
This is fun.
Oh, gosh. All right. So, when thinking about all the Netflix original movies, the one that comes to mind for me is the one that was based off of a historical accurate battle that is called the Siege of Jadoteville. And while it may be kind of inglorious when talking about the battle itself, because it's talking about the battle of 157 Irish UN peacekeeping troops in 1961 sent to defend a town in, I believe it's the Katanga province in the Congo. And they were sent there to defend that town against 3,000 mercs with very little support and a lot of political backroom maneuvering that left them completely stripped of any support. And talking about an honest story like that is what really makes it the best film for me.
Lovely, beautiful. Now, Max, if you'd like to introduce your topic.
Win It All is Netflix's hidden gem. It has a great concept with excellent execution. It is a great character-based film who has a character who is put into a scary situation that creates intense sequences. It's unique, original, well-performed, funny, intense, etc. Win It All is Netflix's best film.
All right, thank you.
So Netflix, what I think so great about Netflix is it's this experimental platform where we don't really have a true formula. We can go off and do weird things like all these different series we have. And something that I really loved about this film that I've picked with Buster Scruggs is Scruggs is all the different ways of storytelling we have in here. Right off the bat, we have a musical. Usually people don't like musicals, but they really like this one because it's just so weird and out there. And we have violence in this musical that people aren't really used to. Most of them are really, really good. The one with Liam Neeson is debatable. But we also have this awesome cast of Liam Neeson, James Franco, Clancy Brown, and the Coen brothers coming out of retirement, getting it all done in this new platform.
All right. Now we will move on to our 5-minute forum where you can do whatever, really. We don't have security. So,
You know?
yeah,
Wait,
go for
We
it.
can't get thrown out?
Okay,
far as
so
I'm concerned.
Win It All. This is bothering the crap out of me. I watched about 10 minutes of it and couldn't find a single frame that didn't have grainy footage somewhere in it. It's like, do they ever have a
Stylistic
cinematographer
choice.
on set? Was they just
There's-
pointing lights
there's
and saying,
stylistic
"Oh,
choice,
really? I hope this
and then
guy
there's going
figures
too
it
far
out
with
while
it.
we go along."
You didn't even see it.
It's a super cliche story. I mean, he's having gambling problems, and then at the end, he just happens to win it all back. And I didn't understand any of the risk here. I mean, he steals some money out of a bag, and then at the end, we're just Okay, we're back to normal. Okay, great. We're
We're
up
understand.
2,000.
I don't understand that argument. There's no risk. I mean, you have this criminal who gives him a bag, says, "Don't open it. Don't. I will give you $10,000
he's
to open it.
gonna
Don't
open
keep
it.
it."
Well, there's
And
a bomb
yeah, he does.
inside.
And he is a gambling addict, and when he finds all that money, there's already a problem right there. There's a risk when he starts gambling with it and loses over half of it, $100,000 down 50,000. That's a huge risk right there. I don't understand the no
Go
risk
watch
argument.
Casino Royale.
The Coen brothers were wrong in the sense of they wanted Buster Scruggs to be a movie. It would have been a great series. I think the fact that there's no connection at all
That's what
really
an
goes
anthology
against it.
is.
I know
That's
that's
the
what
point,
it is.
yeah.
I know that's what an anthology is, but boy, does it lose steam after the first two. I think it would have been better as this episode by episode thing where you
But
go.
we don't need to remember all that. We can just judge it on the ones we like about it.
Yeah,
we
I'd
love the
rather-
first
you don't
two
have
about
to
it.
watch
They're great.
all of them,
Go
like,
ahead, skip it. I don't
together.
care.
But that
But
sounds
what
like
are
a
you
series to me,
entertained
you
the
know?
most at?
That's
But if you
what
can
an
pause your
anthology
mo-
is. If you think about it, like Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is just an anthology of a bunch of dystopian or kind of weird sci-fi stories.
That's a series.
Yeah,
It's a
and
movie.
An anthology
I know
is
it's a
just
movie,
like a
but it
series,
would've-
but together in one.
Are we educating
would've
in
worked-
what an anthology
It
is?
would have.
I don't know.
It would have worked better to me as a series where you go, okay, you make it sound like, oh, I'll just pause this movie. If you're watching in theaters, you go, I'll just walk out, get some popcorn,
It's
come
not
back
in
for the
theaters.
next
We're
segment.
talking about Netflix. Netflix can do whatever the hell they want, and
Yes,
this is
I
what
understand,
they did.
but I think-
Coen Brothers, they probably take this to a
Netflix
studio.
even made
studio
an
be like,
interactive
what
Minecraft
the hell is this
story. This
Yeah,
is
awesome.
just an
Ex-
anthology. This
Netflix
is just
is
a way
going
for the
everywhere.
Coen Brothers to flex.
Yeah,
And they
absolutely.
The first two are great. I think the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, the first one's great, and then the James Franco one. But man, I tell you what, it's as if I'd taken NyQuil before watching this movie because I was dozing off. It just starts to get so
Did
boring.
we watch the same When It All?
Yes.
You know
There
what
was
doesn't
no
doze off?
action or
the
any
Siege of
just like
Jadoteville.
stupid.
Siege of
Nothing
Jadoteville.
happens
It's all
in the
about
whole
a
movie.
wonderful
I-
thing.
Nothing
wish-
happens in
where
the whole movie.
all
No,
the
it
characters
doesn't.
are
Of
just
Buster
157 Irish soldiers
Nothing
who are trying
happens
to
in the
defend.
whole
You
movie.
talk some.
I'm
talking
talking over to Justin. I'm just ignoring this.
Okay, you go ahead. I don't have anything to say about this historical event I've never heard of. And
That's
really-
because it wasn't heard of. That's because
Then
the UN,
the
Irish
beginning of it is
government, and
basically
all the
Pearl
population.
Harbor.
No.
Okay, well, let's go get our
We're
shots
talking about
and-
something that was
okay, now
kept
we're
under
off,
the kept under the rug
politics.
because of how bad it failed. Because it showed how bad the UN kept track of this, how bad the UN supplied everything. They swept it under the rug and they just let
this
the
History
entire
150?
population just say, "Shame on you for surrendering," because these 157 Irish soldiers weren't trained and they were just sent to this area with no actual
they're
like
drinking
food,
Guinness.
water. No, they were drinking other things, like water. But they sent them here.
And,
They weren't in Ireland. They were in Africa.
That
The
movie
beginning.
sounds super interesting.
That's
to those,
because they were in Irish peacekeeping troops. They were stationed in Ireland, and then they got shipped there because they were
is this
UN.
movies or beer?
That
We're
movie-
talking about
water.
movie here. If we're talking about beer, there's a problem here.
Okay, that movie sounds super interesting to those that are specifically interested in history.
All right, there, Kanye,
whereas
I'm gonna
when
let
it
you
all-
finish. But-
Everyone just going to be a war film.
No, actually.
Oh
And this
my
one's not just a
gosh.
war film. This talks about the political intrigue and the back dealings
But
of
I want
the
to be
UN.
entertained. I don't want to sit through the first half
Then
hour of
Buster
it. And
Scruggs
think,
That's
wouldn't be
"My
not
God,
actually.
When are
it.
we going to get
so
to
nothing
it?
happens the whole
switches
movie.
between
Your
the two
quote.
viewpoints of this one.
I watched
thing.
it.
Yeah,
It's just-
you did. So you understand how it was like it was dealing with the political backroom
Yeah, I
dealings
kept checking
of
Twitter on
Mark
the side.
Strong. Why?
Because I was bored. I wanted
How
to be entertained.
dare you?
I'm bored just listening to you argue for these boring
I'm
movies.
bored listening and
Boring
looking at
movies.
you. What's your
When
point?
it all, you can't even show me the cards. If I want to watch a gambling movie and have him play cards, I actually want to see the cards. I want to have some stakes.
I want to see 21,
see
like
the
for a
card?
gambling
Yeah,
movie.
I'll go watch
Yeah.
21
No, I'm not
way
gonna watch
before I'm
that.
going to watch some Win It All.
Well, here.
What kind of title? Who came up
All
with
right,
the
no.
title Win
And-
It All? We had a
'cause that's the
list
whole
of
point. He's gotta
titles
win
here
it
and
all
said,
back.
Let's go with Win It All.
He's
Yeah,
gotta
I
win
bet
it all
that's
back.
What people are
He's
gonna
gotta
go
But
with.
no,
win it
if you
all
want to
back.
think about Siege of Jadoteville, you think about the fact that the entire population, once they learned that these 157 Irish soldiers, which they didn't lose anyone after facing 3,000 people, killing 300 of them, and then surrendering peacefully.
Well, that was something. I'll tell you that. Now, if you'd care to, we have 30-second conclusions where you can try to salvage whatever just happened. Start with Max.
Win It All is something I recommend to everyone. In fact, I just rewatched it the other night before I even knew that the arguments were going to be. It's intense, got a great central character, and does an excellent job of getting you to care. What do you want more in your movie? with a great central character, stylistic choice. I think the Coen brothers are wrong in their style. You make it sound like you can just pause the movie and just blah, 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 whatever. Why would you want to do that? I think it would have been a better series. It loses steam after the first two. Siege of whatever, Boringsville.
Jadoteville?
You know, it would have been the end.
For a story that's based on an actual historical event that most people never heard of up until about 2010, 2012, roughly, this story tells a compelling narrative about how there's both backroom dealings and the actual physical militaristic action taken by the UN. And it describes how those backroom dealings that were done by the character Mark Strong plays. And they say how the political aspect.
So with Netflix, we have the ability to pause, fast forward, do whatever the hell we want with it.
Sounds like a
And
DVD.
with that, I want to be entertained for whatever time I have with the platform. For Win It All, 10 minutes into it, I realized there's no cinematographer on set who said, hey, there's some grain over there. Is anyone going to check that? And I don't really care about boring history. I'd rather go watch Saving Private Ryan.
All right. Vaughn, do we have any facts to check here?
As far as I could tell, everything was true.
Okay. Well, that leaves the last thing up to me. I will now put on my thinking cap and enter the
Yeah.
zone.
I don't see it around.
I thought so.
I'm so glad none of you guys picked Roma. Oh my god.
Oh,
I saw the description
Boring.
for it and I was like, nope.
Movie looks great.
sure.
The description didn't sell me. Or the Brad Pitt.
At attention, sir. All right.
Robots.
Now, to begin my deliberation, Evan, you made me quite interested in the topic, but you didn't really bring much about the movie. I understand that there are two plot lines, backroom dealings and on the front, but I didn't see how this best used the Netflix platform and why it is the best to come from Netflix originally. And for that, you're number 3. You can leave the island. For number
Give
2,
him a rose.
No, you get
Or we
those
get
the ones that
rose,
you want to
yeah,
keep.
yeah.
Max, I chose Win It All for number 2. No disrespect. It is. I don't dislike this movie. Cinematically, it is an acquired taste, I'd say, but I don't think that the style detracts from what it does as a Netflix original and its quality overall. A bit cliche of a story, maybe, but I'll give you that, number 2. And I've already done this
Mine
joke.
was
You
1.
figured it out. Number 1. That'll be you, Peyton.
Oh, wow.
I think that you did well to thwart away any discussion about how the anthology made it a weaker film.
I knew the weakness. I was going to throw it away.
You took the weakness and you just went headstrong into it.
Yep.
I think that the anthology film does play well into Netflix sit and watch sort of style, and I also think that it was the best argued, and for that you win, sir.
Thank you.
Now, you've been watching Cardinal Film Fights. If you
Yeah.
want more Cardinal Film Fights, you can find us on social media at Card Film Fights. We have Instagram, Twitter. Do we have a MySpace?
We have a
I think we
Friendster.
might. So, go ahead and go like those things, like our videos, and comment what you would like to see us debate, or maybe who you think won this one. See ya.